Hi everyone, and thanks so much for joining us for this week's Hangout on Air. I am Pooja, and I have with me here my colleague Tanama.
Hey Pooja, hey everyone.
We work with the AdWords support team based in India, and today we are super excited to talk to you about the basics of a display campaign. It'll be a great place for you to think about jumping into display if you're a new advertiser, or if you're just looking for a basic refresher course if you've already used display before. If you are joining us from the Google Plus page, you will see the Q&A feature to the right of the video. Please feel free to post your queries over there and we'll get to them at the end of the video. If you are joining us from the AdWords community page, please feel free to post your queries as comments to the post and we'll get to them too. So before we start, Tanaima, can you tell us something about what a display campaign is and how it can benefit advertisers?
Absolutely, Pooja.
Great.
So as we all know that we can advertise on the Google search network, which means that when somebody searches for something on google.com, your ads appear depending on what they were searching for. But what if your targeted users did not really know where you were, did not really know about your product or service, so wouldn't really search for it online? Or you wanted to advertise on websites that you know your users are going to be visiting. This is where the display network comes in. You can actually advertise to over 2 million websites, plus mobile phone apps, blogs, and a whole lot of other online destinations. This means that you can reach out to over 90% of internet users online, and about in over 30 languages in 100 countries.
Wow, that is great.
This is the power of display network. You can use this not only to target your audiences, but also to create brand awareness and therefore increase your return on investment.
That was very, very insightful. Thanks, Tanama. Now, let's get started by breaking down what a display campaign looks like within an account. We have created a basic display network campaign for you. And this one is for Ravi's Shoe Store, a shoe store based in India. Ravi's is not only a brick and mortar location, but they also sell shoes online. So we can get a good idea of the different types of users that we can attract using the display network. Let's see what we have in the account. We have an existing campaign set up for the display network. As you can see, the interface looks the same as it would for a search campaign. We have the Settings tab, the Ad Groups tab, the Ads tab, and so on. But if you notice closely, the Keywords tab is replaced here with a Display Network tab. Now, let's check out the Campaign Settings tab. This is where you would opt into the Display Network if you have an existing campaign that you would want to use for display. This is a Display Network only campaign, but you could also use Search Network with Display Select. How to choose Search Network with Display Select for an existing search campaign? Let's go into an existing search campaign that we have. As you can see, under the Settings tab of a search campaign, you get an option to edit. Over here, instead of Search Network only, you can choose Search Network with Display Select and then click on Save. Now, let's go back to the campaign that we have created. Moving on to bidding and budget. Most people who use AdWords use the cost per click method to bid for each click that they pay for. With this option, you set a maximum bid on each click. For now, let's just set this to automatic bidding. However, let's set a CPC bid limit so we have some control over the spend of each click. We set it to 1 and then click on Save. Moving on to budget. If you have ever planned a holiday, then you know the importance of setting a limit to your spend. Similarly, AdWords allows you to have a flexible budget that you can change at any time. If you have a monthly allocated advertising budget, you divide it by 30 and that becomes your daily budget. For now, let's just keep this to £10. As I mentioned earlier, Ravi's is a shoe store that is targeted only to India. However, the campaign is currently targeting all countries and territories. So let's just make this more specific. You go into the Settings tab, you go under Locations, you click on Edit, and then you click on India. And then click on Save. The basic campaign settings are now done. Tanaima, would you want to show us how some ads are created?
Absolutely, Pooja. So the coolest thing about display network campaigns is that you can not only run text ads, but also image ads and video ads. So you can actually, and obviously video ads and text image ads are a lot more attractive. Let me show you how you can do this. So we're on the settings tab right now, and we go to the ads tab. Now in the case of Ravi, since he's a shoe store, having image ads would be a lot more compelling for people to click on. So let's click on image ad and upload an ad. And you can simply browse files and upload your ad that you've created. Also ensure that you select the right ad group. And as usual, display URL and destination URL like you would do in any other ads. Now one thing that I would like to mention is that make sure that you have, I would recommend at least, that you have different dimensions of ads, because different websites allow different ad sizes.
Definitely.
So I would definitely recommend for you to have different dimensions. You can also read up more about this on the Help Center.
That was great, Tanama. Thank you so much. Now that we have a basic idea of what we are doing, let's get started on how we control where our ads show. As Tanama had mentioned earlier, display network is vast with millions of web pages, placements, and apps. So it becomes crucial that your ads serve only on the relevant pages and show to the relevant audience. We have several targeting options on display. So let's get started. The first is display keywords. On display, users do not search using keywords. So individual keywords do not trigger your ads over here. However, the theme of your keywords is matched with the theme of the web pages, and that determines where your ads show. Let me show you how to add display keywords. In the campaign, you see a display network tab. You go into the display network tab, and the first option that you have is for display keywords. As you may see, the existing keywords that we have are not as tightly themed or relevant. So let's just make this more relevant. Click on targeting. In our case, Ravi sells shoes. So let us add some keywords that are closely related to sports shoes in the ad group sports shoes. As you can see, targeting settings are available at the ad group level. So select the ad group. As I said, adding tightly themed keywords is really important, so the AdWords system can match your keywords list to a relevant web page. So let me make these keywords more relevant. You click on the edit button right next to display keywords and you enter sports shoes. Then you click on find related keywords. As you see, a list of keywords have popped up. Let's go ahead and choose the most relevant ones. Sports shoes, men's sports shoes, shop sports shoes, women's sports shoes, and sheep sports shoes. And let's remove the keywords that are not as tightly themed. For example, shoes, men's shoes, sports, or leather. There. With the keyword set, let's go ahead and save them. The second option that we have is called placement. Placements are sites that you can choose your ads to show on. With this option, you can choose certain sites where you would want to show your ads. Let's go ahead and add some placements. Under the Display Network tab, right next to Display Keywords, you will see an option for placements. Click on Placements and then on Plus Targeting. As always, click on the ad group that you would want to add the targeting to. Now, under Targeting, click on Add Targeting and then on Placements. Over here, let's go ahead and add sports shoes and search. You will see that the system gives you a list of related placements. For example, shoesports.com, shoesize.com, and so on and so forth. Now you have an additional setting here. Target and bid only. Use target and bid if you want the system to use the targeting option only, which means your ads will only show on placements you have selected. Use the bid only option if you want your ads to show on the sites you have selected, and also trigger for other targeting options like keywords. You can also exclude some sites you do not want your ads to show on. Let's go ahead and exclude some sites. Add ad group exclusions and placements. For example, Since our business is that of shoes, we will have nothing to do with food. So let's go ahead and add something like foodie.com. And then click on save. The third option that we have is called topic targeting. Like your business caters to only certain customers, your customers may also be looking for certain topics. So instead of adding individual sites, you can choose a broader topic category and your ads will show on a list of sites that are matched with that topic. Let me show you how to do that as well. Right next to placements, under the display network tab itself, you will see another option for topics. Let's click on topics and on plus targeting. As always, choose the ad group. And now click on add targeting and then on topics. Over here, let's go ahead and enter shoes. The system will give us a list of topic suggestions. For example, apparel, fashion and style, shopping. However, the most relevant over here will be athletic shoes since we are targeting sports shoes. Let's go ahead and add this. As always, as we recommend, keep this to bid only. And click on save. We recommend you to have a maximum of 2 targeting options in one ad group. For instance, you could have a combination of keywords and placements in one ad group and a combination of keywords and topics in another ad group. Having too many targeting options restricts your ad serving as the system does not know where your ads serve on. Hence, 2 will be the ideal option for targeting under display network. Over to you, Tanaima.
Thanks, Pooja. That was awesome. So now that we have our targeting set, let's make our ads a lot more richer by adding location extensions. Now, in the case of Ravi, he not only wants to sell shoes online, but he also wants local people in Delhi to actually come to his store. So he can actually add a location extension to his ad. Let me show you how you can do this. You go up to add extensions. Now, before we do this, you need to have a Google My Business account. And all you need to do is then sync your Google My Business account to your AdWords account. So you just simply add extensions. And in this case, my Google My Business account is already synced. So once it is synced, I can simply choose whether I want all my locations to show on my ads or certain locations that I pick. And then I simply save it, and your ads will show your locations. I would also recommend that you use remarketing. Well, actually, for now, your display network campaign is completely set and good for success. Another thing I would recommend is using remarketing. Remarketing is basically a way to reach out to your users who have already actually come to your website or mobile apps. So you can use remarketing literally to advertise to people who already come on your website. We're going to be having a hangout about this sometime later. So stay tuned in for that. Or you can go on the Google Ad Help Center. Is that what it is?
Yes.
I should know this, right?
So that was very helpful, Tanaima. For users who've posted queries either on the Google Plus page or the AdWords community post, we will get to you at the end of the video. And that's about all we have for you right now. Please do tune in for the next Hangout next month. Till then, bye-bye.
Bye.